my class who wants to do some math. Mr. H, garage math, solve equations.
Bum 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 bum. Oh, hey, oh. Whoa, you guys are really close to me. Walk like an Egyptian. You don't get it. All right, we're gonna do surface area of pyramids, and this is gonna be a quick video. We'll see. There's gonna be 3 problems, and today is just this glorious day where I live. The sun's out. I just got back from church. Just went to biology, had a pizza, cherry Coke, and I'm gonna go to grandma's. We're gonna celebrate. Got a couple boys that are just turned 18, so we're gonna do some celebrating with them. And some barbecue ribs for dinner, and then that's just kind of what my Sunday is going to be all about. So let's talk about pyramids. Some of the most famous pyramids, as we all know, are on what plateau? 6th graders. Ancient civilization, it's a 6th grade standard, or it used to be. The Giza Plateau, one of my all-time favorite plateaus. We have the Sphinx, and we have 3 main pyramids. We have the Great Pyramid. We have the next pyramid, we have Khufu, we have Khafra, and Menkaure, or Menkaure. That's the 3rd smaller pyramid. So what we need to figure out is the surface area of these pyramids, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna like get underneath them, and we're gonna like kind of pry them up off the ground, and then we're gonna hold them up, and then we're gonna wrap them, because we're gonna give them as a present. That's what they originally did when they built the pyramids. So they wrapped them up in nice wrapping paper, and that way they like pulled off the wrapping paper and they said, surprise, to all the pharaohs. And that was important because they needed to know the surface area. So we're gonna practice with this pyramid. These are actually the dimensions of the Great Pyramid. I geeked out, went onto Google. So we're gonna find the surface area of the Great Pyramid. This is not the Great Pyramid, okay? So when you talk about a pyramid, you basically just can have any polygon, and then you just meet at a point, and you have March Madness. And you have a pyramid, okay? And the way that you know how many faces, these are called lateral faces. So a pyramid has a base. These are always going to be triangles, okay? And they're called lateral faces. And the way you're always going to know how many lateral faces there are, it's really simple. You just have to figure out how many sides the base is. That's how many lateral faces you have. So this is a triangle, so there's 3 lateral faces. This is a square, so there's 4 lateral faces, and so on, okay? So kind of just like we did prisms, all you're gonna do is find this is a little simpler because the lateral faces, as long as this is a regular polygon, they're always gonna be the same. So we have to find the area of the base, which is a triangle, and then that is by itself. And then we find the area of one lateral face, and that is just gonna be multiplied by however many faces there are. Okay. All right, I still feel like you're a little bit too close to me. So if you could back up a little bit, respect my space. I just put you a little closer to me because I want you to be able to see the numbers, because I thought maybe I made them too small. All right, okay, let's find the area. Now, this right here is called the slant height. The reason why you need the slant height, you don't need the height of the pyramid, okay, because you're gonna have your pyramid at a diagonal. The height's actually like that. The slant height is used as the height for the triangle for the lateral face. Okay, so for the base, we have 16, and this is 14, so it's 16 times 14 divided by 2, okay? 16 times 14 divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2, okay? All right, 16 times 14 divided by 2, that's 112, all right? So 112 is the area of the base. Okay, now we just need to find one area of the this side angle, and then we just multiply it by 3. Okay, so again, that's 16. We're gonna do this guy because we know the height's 10. This is 16 because that's 16. Okay, so that's 16. 16 times 10 divided by 2. Okay, 16 times 10 divided by 2 is 160 divided by 2. That equals 80. okay? So the area of one of the lateral faces is 80, and since there's 3 lateral faces, we multiply that by 3, that equals 240. So you have 240 plus 112. Let's do that in our head. I have 352. 352 inches squared, okay? That is the surface area of that pyramid. So we only have 2 more problems, and here's what I want you to do, because I know you guys are smart enough to do this. I really want you all to solve these on a piece of paper, then jump back in and look at your work to match my work. I think it's a lot more fun that way, and I think you're gonna learn a little bit more that way. So do me a favor, don't be lazy. Get up, grab a piece of paper, grab a calculator, grab your phone, grab a pencil. You don't have to copy the pyramid down if you don't want to, but you don't need to do that. So hit pause, boink, solve the surface area of that pyramid, okay, which has the base of a square. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now as well. All right, to find the area of the square, we just have to multiply base times height, side squared, 755 times 755, okay, so 755 squared. So this is going to be a big number, by the way, because it actually is the Great Pyramid, and we're measuring it in feet, okay? It's not called the OK Pyramid, it's called the Great Pyramid. 755 times 755 is 570,025, okay? That is the area of the base of the Great Pyramid. Remember, we're lifting it off the ground so we can wrap underneath it. That doesn't make any sense. All right, now how many are we gonna have? I keep forgetting the words. It's like not vertical side. It's slant height, and it's, I'm missing the word of these side guys. I just said it already before, but I'm kind of blanking on it right now. But we're gonna find it, okay? And it's gonna come to me in a second. So we just have to find the area of one of these triangles. Obviously there's 4 of them because there's 4 sides that are here. So we find the area of this. It's 755 times 611 divided by 2, okay? 755 times 611 divided by 2. That's how you find the area of a triangle. Base times height divided by 2. 755 times 611 divided by 2. I got 230,600. Okay, so I got 230,652.5. But we're going to be really accurate, 0.5. Now, that is the, that's one of the sides, and I'm blanking on the name of it. How are we doing, Cameron?
Good.
All right, my son's tearing up his car, putting in a new touchscreen because the radio's not working. All right, because that's one of these, we have to multiply by 4. Multiply by 4 times 4, 922,610, okay? 922,610. So that is all 4 of these vertical sides, which is not the name of it. Dang it, it's gonna come to me as soon as I hang up this video. Not slant height, whatever. Now, so we gotta add that to that, because remember, that's the base, that's the 4 slants together. Okay, 570,025 plus 922,610. It is a whopping 1,492,635 feet squared. Now, I actually Googled, which means it's right, because anything you find on the internet's obviously true. And I looked up the surface area of the Great Pyramid, and that is super close to the number that actually is in Google World. So I felt like that has to be right, because that's really close to the actual number that the internet told us, okay? All right, looks like a lot of work, but really you just have to kind of keep it organized. We're gonna do one more problem, okay? And it's gonna be kind of fun. And what you're gonna do is, if you didn't get out a piece of paper for that last one, you have to pinky swear. Come on, give me your pinky. You have to pinky swear that you're gonna solve this one on your own, okay? Because if you're just sitting here watching the show, you're making me do all the work. And you know what we call that? Selfish. So get off your couch or your phone. Okay, now, this shape right here is interesting because we have to find the surface area of this shape. So what we did is we combined the last 2 lessons. we have a rectangular prism, and we have a pyramid. Now, there's a little trick to it, and I bet you can tell what the trick is already, because we're gonna wrap the outside. We're not gonna touch the inside. We're almost a volume, but we're not there yet. So, thinking of that, if you think about this little part right here, it actually doesn't get included. This part does not get included in our wrapping because there's a solid on top of it, so you don't have any access to this. So you're only gonna do the pyramid and the rest of the rectangular pyramid. So that's gonna factor into we do our numbers, okay? So let's do our pyramid first, because we're fresh off of doing pyramids. Okay, this is 10, this whole thing is 15, so that means that's 5, okay? And since that's 5, that's a square, okay? So we're gonna do the pyramid first, so we're gonna, I almost did the base, and I just told you that we didn't have to do the base. Shame on me. So we actually don't have to find the base. We only have to find the diagonal sides, which is not the name of it. Oh, man, I know it has something to do with, it's not vertical either. Slant, diagonal, it's just at the tip of my tongue. Okay, so let's find, we have 4 sides, okay? So let's find those. It's gonna be, the height is 5, the base is 5, so it's 5 times 5 divided by 2. Okay, 5 times 5 divided by 2, 25 divided by 2 equals 12.5. Now there's 4 of those, okay? So we can do that in our head. 12.5 times 4 is going to be 50, okay? So if you think of that, all 4 of the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, you add them all up, it's 50 feet squared. Okay, the triangle's done. So now we have a rectangular prism, and all we have to do is find the 6 sides. So if we find this, then we just double it. If we find this, then we just double it. If we find the bottom, we don't double it, because remember, the top is a little bit less because we don't include that part. Andrew, help me out. Remember we did pyramids in 6th grade? On a pyramid, you have the base. These diagonal sides are called something. It's called like a vertical slant. You don't remember that? What about in your Egypt lessons? You don't remember what those are called? Hey, do me a favor, look it up really quick. Just look up a pyramid, and this is called something. Okay, all right, let's go. We got to keep moving. Let's do these end pieces first, okay? That's 5, that's 4, so it's 5 times 4. Now there's 2 of them. So I'm gonna go 5 times 4 times 2, 20 times 2, that's 40, okay?
Lateral face.
Lateral face! Winner, winner, winner. Thank you. Lateral face. I wasn't even close. Okay, so 40. Now let's do the front and let's do the back, okay? So the front, 15 times 4, right? 15 times 4. And we're gonna do times 2 because there's one on the back. So 15 times 4 times 2, that's 60. 60 times 2 equals 120. Okay, 120. Now, we have to do the bottom and the top separately because we already talked about this little part. Okay, the bottom is 15 times 5, right? Because that's this little guy. 15 times 5. Okay, so the bottom is 15 times 5. That's 75, okay? So that's the bottom, okay? That's why I like to circle all these, because that way at the end we just know what we're gonna add up. Okay, the top is not 15 times 5 because it stops right here, okay? It's actually 10 times 5 because if that's 5, that's 5, that's 5. It's 10 times 5, okay? So that's 10 times 5, which equals 50, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the rectangular pyramid. Now, and those are the 4 lateral faces. So now all we can do is add up all that, okay? 50 plus 40 plus 120 plus 75 plus 50 equals 335. Okay, I hope we got 335. Let's do it one more time. 335. Okay, 50 plus 75 plus 120 plus 40 plus 50, 335 feet squared, okay? 335 feet squared. Okay, so that's the, whoa, there's a 3 right there. I obliterated it. Okay, so this is the wonderful world of pyramids. This is how you find the surface area. Okay, pyramids are cool. I think we're gonna do cylinders next, which are like buckets, which are like cans of soda. We're gonna have a few examples, real life examples. So that's it, that's all I have, okay? I gotta go see what my kid's doing to the car. I hope everybody out there is still doing wonderful. Weather is just gonna be gorgeous where I live, and I hope you guys are outside enjoying it. My azaleas look beautiful, things are popping. My yard looks really, really pretty. I hope it looks pretty where you live. Okay, we'll talk to you later, bye.